what is up everyone? Welcome back, and it has been a long time, too long, since my last Figma review, so here we go. A lot of you have been asking for this one. Of course, this is Figma number 300, and they've gone all out with this box right here. And of course, Figma number 300 is Archer, and this of course is Archer, this particular Archer being Gilgamesh from Fate Grand Order, which is an app game, but you also know him from Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night. This review here would not be possible if it wasn't for those awesome people over at Hobblink Japan, so if you want yourself a Gilgamesh of your own, then check out that link down there in the description. Now here we go. Okay, so first taking a quick look around the box, there is the front of the box. I think this might be the first time, well, it's the first time I've ever seen this, which is basically a flap like you'd see on some other figures like Play Art Sky. That opens up like that. That looks absolutely fantastic. There's the figure in there. There's the right hand side inside the flap. There's the right hand side outside of it. And again, I think this is the first time I've ever seen anything like this on a Figma box. There is the right hand side, and finally there is the back of the box with pictures of what this will look like out of the box and in action. But anyway, let's not waste any more time. Let's bust this thing out and see what we've got. So there's a quick look at that clear inner packaging. We've got the figure itself as well as two alternate faces, the lance, some folded arms, flip that around to the back, we've got that other torso and head, down here the chain, and last up down there is the alternate hands and the base. There's what he looks like right out of the box, and what can I say? I can see why Max Factory kept this guy for number 300. They could have gone with the tradition and released another Miku, or gone with the joke and released the Leonidas Figma for 300, but I can see why it's this one. This thing looks absolutely phenomenal. To be honest, I feel like there's been quite a few iffy releases from Figma lately, but this right here, this is what I'm talking about. Max Factory have absolutely nailed everything about this character. The face looks absolutely fantastic, especially those piercing red eyes. The hair sculpt also looks excellent, and they've hidden the seam line right behind the front section of the hair really nicely. The armor here looks absolutely glorious. The sculpt is awesome, and I'm blown away by that color. What we got here is in your typical metallic gold. This almost has a kind of matte finish, so it doesn't look too garish or gaudy, it looks just right. The matte navy blue highlighting on that as well matches it perfectly. This looks great. And if that wasn't enough already, just take a look at that red cloak segment. The sculpt is absolutely on point. It really does look like it's billowing in the wind. And on top of that, the paint is fantastic. Again, it's that awesome Max Factory matte paint. And that is in blood red with some awesome shading. All in all, this figure looks beyond awesome. And finally then, there's a size comparison with every Fate Figma I have so far. And as you can see, he's pretty damn big. So there's Figma Gilgamesh with everything that it comes with. As for faces, we have a grand total of 3, and that includes this default face which you've seen already, a displeased expression, as well as this angry, shouting battle expression, all of which looking awesome. So as for hands as well as those fists, we've also got a widespread open pair of hands, a pair of standard 9mm holding hands, as well as this relaxed left hand, and finally this semi-flexed right hand. As well as alternate hands, he also has a pair of alternate arms, so to attach them you need to pull out these arms first, and then attach these onto the stumps. And there we go. As for weapons, what we've got in here is the Sword of Rupture, and as you can see, just like the rest of the figure, this looks fantastic. Again, in that same awesome gold as the armor, the sculpt again is fantastic, and quite a novel addition. They didn't need to do this, but it's still pretty cool. All these parts here, from the bottom one, to the middle one, to the top one, they can all spin around. And probably the most awesome thing about this figure is the alternate torso and head parts. So of course, these head parts, this hair can be used with this body as well. Let's have a quick look at that first. Pop that off, pop off this one, stick a face in it, and then stick it on like so. So there's always that option. But anyway, the torso, in order to put that on, you just pull off the whole upper body. Oh, I hate doing that. And then to attach that, you just pop that on here, like so. So there's a quick look at that. That is him in his Ascension form from the game. And at this point, I'll just mention, if you haven't played the game before, I don't know if there's an English version. It's pretty fun, and you don't need really any Japanese at all to play it. I used to play it a while ago, and again, it's pretty fun. But anyway, that right there looks amazing as well. It does have those issues that a lot of topless Figma like the free Figma has, that there are a lot of kind of skin flaps and breaks where there wouldn't really be, but still besides that, this does look fantastic. The sculpt is really nice, and the paintwork on there is just like the rest of the figure. It looks savage. So a completely alternate upper half does mean a complete new set of hands. So we've got those default fists, only one widespread left hand, a relaxed spread left hand, as well as another semi-flexed right hand. And lastly then we have the Chain of Heaven, which looks really nice, again the same color as the armor, and the chain there is made out of an actual chain. So that will hang naturally. Again, an awesome set of accessories. So lastly then, onto the articulation. There's the head all the way down and up again. That is pretty good. That can rotate all the way around. There's the arm all the way up, a little bit blocked by the shoulder. Again, that can rotate all the way around as well. Next, the bend at the elbow, so only about 45 degrees. Not too bad, but again, not too great. I think this part might be blocking it slightly. This here is your standard ball joint. Exactly what you would expect. As for the torso, there it is all the way to the front, not much. There it is to the back, pretty good. Mainly blocked by this little armor piece in there. As for side to side, again, not a whole lot. These little sections here in the skirting armor can move up and down like so. We've got 3 joints back here for these armor pieces. They can move up like that, and that, as well as move around and pivot like so. So you get a whole lot out of this cloak section. As for the legs, there they are all the way out, so not quite doing the splits. This section here also has a joint. No, this section has a joint that can pop up like that. This section doesn't move. There is the leg all the way up to the front. Not too bad, but again, not great. This is kind of what you'd expect from such an armored figure. There it is to the back. Again, not a whole lot. Do we have rotation there? Yes, we do. There is that bend at the knee. Again, good, but not great. They could have cut a little section out of here to bend it, but then I guess that would have taken away from the aesthetics a little bit. Again, I think it's a good trade-off. This is a really nice looking figure. Archer looks awesome, so I think it's best to keep it the way that it is. Last up then is the foot. There it is all the way down. That is fantastic. There it is all the way up, a little bit blocked, but not so bad. That can pivot side to side, and there's a bend at the toe as well. That's incredible, and maybe a little too incredible, but again, that's cool. So I'll say articulation isn't really its strongest point, but then again, you'll get most of the poses you want out of this. It is a heavily armored character, so it's not like it's going to be doing yoga. Anyway, that is it for the review, and what can I say? It's been a long time since a Figma came out that I really wanted, and this was one of them. There is a few on the horizon I want as well, so stay tuned for some more Figma reviews. I haven't forgotten about them. But this right here has completely rekindled my love for this line. The last few releases, bar maybe Dark Magician Girl, have been a little bit iffy. A lot didn't really appeal to my taste, and I think the quality has dropped in some of them. But not this. This thing looks fantastic. The quality is incredible. The amount of accessories you get with it is fantastic, especially that alternate torso. But it does come at a bit of a high price, would be the only down point. In the last few years, Figma have shot up dramatically in price. Like I said, this is a completely awesome Figma. It's one of the best I've seen in quite a while. But whether or not it's worth 9,000 yen or so, that's completely up to you. But anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching. If you want yourself one of these, then check out that link down there in the description. And as always, make sure to come back for more Figma reviews. See you next time.